so much for joining us today for our virtual actor talk. It is so great to have you both here. I'd love for both of you to just introduce yourself, who you're playing in our show, and just a little bit about yourself that we don't get from your brief bios in the show program.
Okay. I'm Faye Butler, and most days I'm Fannie on stage. I'm from Chicago. And I don't know, I do a lot of different stuff, but I am a mother, I'm a wife, I'm a grandmother, and I just have a normal life until I come to the theater every day. I think a lot of people don't think we have normal lives, but we kind of just have the regular normal life. So I kind of always say theater is what I do, but it's not who I am. So, life is grand and there's lots of stuff going on, but I studied. And I'm blessed to be working, and especially working through the pandemic. So here we go.
Amen. That part.
That's the part.
My name is Shaunyce Omar. I am a hometown girl from right here, Seattle, Washington. I am the Fannie standby, so whenever Faye needs me, I'm standing by, baby.
Okay. Thank God for her.
And thank God for you. I am also a mother. I have 3 children, yeah, I'm blessed to be working through the pandemic as well. I did a lot of stuff online through the pandemic, and this is my second in-person show. So it's still kind of new, and we're working it out, but also exciting because I'm glad to be back.
Yeah. It's good to be in the theater.
Yeah.
Inside the theater.
Inside.
Yeah, so great.
Speaking of inside the theater, I know a big part of Fannie, this musical, was this incredible tour that you did right in the middle of the pandemic, right before the election, to really get out the vote. Can you tell us a little bit about that and what that experience was like for you?
Yeah, it was great. So Henry Godina, as our director, who is such a brilliant man, came up with the concept of doing exactly what Juan Valdez did. He went into with the migrant workers. So Henry said, although we had done Fannie and we had this script, he said, we can't let it die during election time. Even though the pandemic happened, we can't just let Fannie's voice just die. So he came up with this concept, let's get a trailer and let's take this show park to park to park in Chicago. Seattle rep was on board with that. And so we literally got a trailer and we went to the inner city neighborhoods. So we didn't go to the posh neighborhoods. We went to the Woodlawn and we went to Inglewood and we went to those places that most people would say, well, you're gonna go there during a pandemic? And because, when the people can't come to the theater, we need to take theater to the people. Yes. And that's exactly what Fannie did. And I think that's part of the blessing on Fannie, is that we were able to reach people in their neighborhoods. And along with that, the women of League of Women Voters, in every city we went to, they had a stand and they were there registering people. I cannot tell you how happy I was to see that mothers that had never registered to vote are voting now, to know that there were people that didn't know they could because they felt that their citizenship would be challenged if they tried to vote. Those are the kinds of things that people still use, those Jim Crow tactics. They still use in 2022 to stop us from voting. And so this project meant a lot to me during that period right before voting, because it was amazing to know that there were people out there that still didn't know they had that right.
The right.
That's the thing, it's the right. I mean, you have a choice to do it, but if you don't know you have the right to vote
And that's something that's been instilled in people on the inside.
Yes.
Like on paper it says I have the right, but
it's got to be in here.
It has to be in here. I have to know that it's for me.
Yes, for me. Yes.
It's mine.
It's mine. Everyone has that right. And so many of us are being taught that we don't personally have that right. Somebody else decides that. No, don't let anyone else decide. And I don't care who you vote for. So that's not my issue. Everybody's got their own, perspective on that. But the fact that you don't do anything.
Vote, yes. That part.
That is that one.
People die.
We got to vote. So.
I mean, that is absolutely the power of this show, and I can already feel both of you have such a deep connection to this.
Yeah.
You both have to embody this incredible woman, Fannie Lou Hamer, for over an hour, with the support of the musicians, but, you know, it's you on stage, right? What is your connection to Fannie herself, and how has that maybe evolved, especially with you being with the show for so long, Ife? Have you found new ways to connect with her? And Shaunyce as well, stepping into this role more recently, you know, where have you found your heart connecting with her?
I think, because I am the newbie and still like learning Fannie as well as learning the show. But I was listening to Ife today during the talk back with the kids, and I think she hit the nail on the head when she said, sit in the seat and let the ride take you. And when I decided to do that, that's when I think all of the anxiety kind of melted away. And I allowed, I think, the spirit of Fannie to tell the story through me. One thing I do anytime I don't care what kind of show it is, it could be a concert, I don't care what kind of show it is, before I enter the stage, I always say, from you through me to them, whatever message you want me to give the people,
Absolutely.
God, let me be the open vessel. And if there's anything that's in the way, purge that out of the way so that it can have this L-shaped track to whoever that needs to hear it.
Yes.
So whatever it is, if it needs to prick, if it needs to comfort, if it needs to shake up, if it needs to energize, if it needs to console, whatever that message is for those individuals that are sitting out there, Lord, use me, let me be the vessel so that it can reach the people.
I agree.
And I think allowing yourself to just be open, that's the bottom. You just have to, you have to open your heart and just be open to it happening. And then Ife is so right, Fannie does drive. She decides what happens and what doesn't. I've watched Ife maybe 20 times now, and every time I have a new experience. I know the lines, I know the blocking, but it's still so fresh and new for me every time I watch you, Ife. It's just like, I enjoy you. I'm just like, wow. And I enjoy learning about Fannie every night. It's so fresh every night.
Because it's something you miss all the time. You can see the show, 20, like you say, 20 times. You went, oh, wait a minute, I never heard that one before.
And you don't say things the exact same way
No, because we don't do that as humans.
Exactly.
That's what I'm saying.
Exactly.
It's an experience.
Ife is out there literally having a real experience. And I'm, like I said, because I know the script, I'm like, yes, I know it's today. You did something today that I just hollered on. After you said put a little stank on, the way you threw the bottle in and you pumped those shoulders, I was like.
But those are the things that hit you in different days.
At different times.
It hits you so differently.
The freeness. I'm trying to and trying not to push too hard because again, Fannie has to drive, but I'm trying to get to that freeness that Ife is at because it's so enjoyable to watch.
It is.
It really is.
Yeah. I think you've hit everything on the head. I think that the biggest thing, and it's why, if I may say, which I love about Shaunyce and why we've connected, is I've seen other actresses go for this and they're trying to be technical. And I'm like, I don't know how you're going to do this technically. You can't do it this is not her.
Yeah.
This is not that animal.
Yeah.
I know what that is because I get paid a lot to do that.
Yeah.
And I can do that. Don't get me wrong. I tell people all that. I can do that. But that's not what this is. There is a vulnerability that you have to give over to that is frightening. When you go,
That exposure.
that exposes you in a way that they don't teach you about in acting school. They don't give you that. They don't give you that lesson. And if you can't be vulnerable in this piece, and that's what it really takes, the nut of it is that people are not going to sit there for 80 minutes. I promise you, they're not going to sit there. And they have to believe that they're having a conversation with you. And that's why I said what I said earlier today when I said every performance is different because I can only deal with the group of people that are in front of me. I can't perceive what that will be until I'm there and and I go, oh, okay, so this is what I have today. This is the experience we're going to have today. Whatever that is, you have to give yourself over. And I think what happens with some artists, because we do that thing,
It has to be here. You got to be there. You got to hit this mark.
this is not that. So the biggest challenge, I think, in this piece is not only for me, but it's for the stage manager. Because they're like, okay, I know she's generally going to be here. But on purpose, Henry hasn't said, you have to hit, you don't see any marks on the floor. Because there are areas. And maybe tonight the audience doesn't take me to that area. We're not having that conversation here like here. Maybe it's a little bit further, or maybe it's not far at all. Or maybe, you know what I'm saying? I know you know what I mean.
Yes.
And if you feed into that and not into then you're okay. You got to kind of live with what's in front of you. And that's a really, really difficult for actors to do because we have such large egos. No, come
Yes,
on, I'm not,
yes,
you know,
yes.
Shaunyce,
Yes. Yes.
we have big egos, and we think, and then all of a sudden it goes, no. You're like, okay, so
This show doesn't work like that.
it's like, okay, so we ain't doing that tonight. That might have felt good at 2:00, but it ain't working in there.
No. It's not gonna go down like that.
Back then it was different.
Different folks.
Some different folks.
Different strokes for different folks.
That's what you gotta know. So when you get that, that's kind of like, to me, the driving force in this whole piece.
Yeah. Yeah.
Staying loose and just kind of, here we go.
Well, thank you so much. Speaking of getting ready for a next show, we don't have a lot of time with you, and we're so, so thankful to get this little behind the scenes with both of you. You're both just a joy, brilliant, brilliant, brilliant performers and people. So thank you so much for joining us today.
Thank you. Truly appreciate it. Thank you.
Thank you, Nebra.